Today, we have Alana Hill. Over the last 20 years, Alana Hill has led teams of oil field technicians, engineers, programmers, and kids. Her experience as an engineer and project manager keeps her focused on excellence, and her compassion helps her bring out the best in others. Alana's appreciation for world cultures has landed her in over a dozen countries on 5 continents and led to numerous global implementations. A passionate trainer and coach, Alana helps her clients manage change, overcome challenges. Ms. Hill is a speaker, author, and purveyor of the Ms. Engineer way, which she describes as leading with a critical eye and a compassionate spirit. She is here today to share her experience and insight with You're Not Their Parent, even if they're behaving like kids.
And now suddenly, I'm looking at my team, and all I'm seeing are bigger 8-year-olds. I'm suddenly realizing that the developer that I had who would not respond to my email, no matter how hard I tried, was really just a bigger version of my 8-year-old son. And that the other one who wouldn't come to meetings on time because he just had better things to do was just a bigger version of my 6-year-old. I couldn't fix them. They're not a problem to solve, but I wanted to understand. So this sent me on a journey to understand behavioral science. So I had fun with this, even more fun than I had learning petroleum engineering. I tell you, learning about people's behavior is exciting. And as a project manager, we can't manage people without understanding people.
Ladies and gentlemen, I just came out of Alana Hill's presentation. She talked about parenting skills and how it's applicable to the everyday life of offices and people that we see. As we were walking through her mental processes, we learned so much about how to make people excited and how to help them to become the best people they can be.
So we know that conflict is a natural part of life, so the fact that the couple is happily married doesn't mean they're devoid of conflict. As a matter of fact, it's avoiding conflict that causes problems in teams, and we're going to talk about that some more too. People trying to run from conflict. Not all conflict is bad. Just like we know that anger is not in of itself bad. Anger is what keeps you out of danger, keeps you out of trouble, right? But we know that we shouldn't let the sun set on our anger, and we should not let anger drive us to wrath. So there's ways that we have to control these things. What did they do to the coach? Fire them. That's the title of one of my other favorite programs. They always fire the coach because leadership starts at the top. Leaders are ultimately held accountable for any and everything that happens on the project or on the team. Personalities and communication. Now, I like talking about these together because our personalities often drive our communication style. So we're going to talk about that. But I want to talk specifically about how different personality types are going to impact different components of our team from a dynamic standpoint, and what we as leaders can do to make the most effective and efficient use of the people that we have. Do you guys have a draft at your job? No draft? You don't get to like line people up and pick? Really? No? Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. And so because of that, you have to be able to get the most out of what you got, right?
Alana, what I really enjoyed about your speeches is that whenever you speak, I notice you drawing the whole audience. You're connected to them right where they're at. You're able to incorporate your speech to the stories that are part of the audience. You actually grab stories from the audience and you incorporate that as part of your speech. And that draws people in to gain really great connection with you and to be able to apply what you're teaching them to their lives. And I especially enjoy that you use such vivid imagery when you speak that people just can't help. They almost feel like they've been translated from earth to heaven. Really amazing. Thank you.
You do want them to think in terms of what's best for our team. And when they know who they are, they'll know how they interact. And when you as leaders know who you are, you'll know how you interact, meaning you'll know how you lead people. But remember, even as a leader, you're not leading at every single moment. Sometimes you're just creating relationship. Because rules without relationship equals rebellion. With these strategies, I hope that you can transform your team and transform them by understanding that behind every person sitting in your team is a 9, 10-year-old person who is interacting based on their own wiring, based on their own understanding. And even if they do act out and they behave like kids, you don't want your response to be one of don't do that as a parent, but one that is a guiding mentor that would help them to understand how to appropriately respond in the situation. Because even as project leaders, first and foremost, we have to mentor.